the world through the ice of a madman, a man teetering on the brink of insanity. Now this is a beautiful winter day. I'm running late again, but I can't go that fast, man. The deers are hopping out, and I got no brakes. So who are they? Them, the ones that run everything. Now, I'm gonna pick one subject at a time because I have the ADD thing, and I know because I took the test, and my results was that nobody knows if I passed or failed, but that's part of the disease. Now, all they know is it can't be cured, but they can give me tons of drugs for the shit. But I refuse. The rebellious spirit inside me refuses the drugs. I don't take any drugs, zero drugs. I smoke a little weed, but that's natural, and I only smoke the weed that is grown here in Michigan, in the great state of Michigan, like the ad says, pure Michigan. Now, let's get going a little bit more. I don't do it so often because I'm getting older. I can't fucking handle smoking anymore. People, you get to an age, you just fuck. Yeah, they fuck. It sucks. But anyway, usury. They impose usury on the masses. The usury system. Now, the usury system is just charging interest for money that you loan or goods that you give someone expecting, like if you give somebody $10 and they grow a crop, you want $10 worth of their crop plus maybe another $10 worth of their crop on top of it to finance their venture. So it's loaning money, expected money in return, plus a dividend for loaning them the money in the first place. That's the usury system. Now, when I was younger, and I might read these books again, but I read a trilogy by Anne Rice called The Mayfair Witches. Now, in The Mayfair Witches, a long time ago, let's say like the 1700 and something, their family had made a deal, a member of their family had made a deal with the spirit, and the deal was that for every $1 he would spend, he would get $2 back. But he had to promise offsprings later on, as sacrifices later on in the future, but he didn't know when. All he wanted was the money at the time. So it came true. And by the time 1984, 1990 rolls around, you can imagine the family is just fabulously rich. And it goes on to the story about Suzanne and on from there. It's a good read. It's a great book by Anne Rice if you ever get the chance. The trilogy, The Mayfair Witches. It's a great read. Now, but that's how the usury system works. Basically, they get money back for money they give. And they have to have parties that can, give back a lot. So, and won't welch on the loans. So who the best person to have or the entity to have as a customer would be like a country or a giant corporation that their reputation depends on their credibility to pay off their creditors. And that's why we have the Federal Reserve loaning money to the United States, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how it goes. The usury system. Now, one time when I was laid off, that was the most miserable time of my life. I've been working now for 4 years here at this place. I don't make any money. I'm poor. But I decided when I was laid off and collecting that welfare unemployment check from the government, depended totally on the government, and they were just screwing people around. And I knew the wages were going to go down. I knew that they were going to get students in debt. I remember George Bush, you got to go to school if you want to get a good job. Now they're saying, no, go to trade school. Don't even bother going to school. They don't know. All they know is they want to get the money for the debt. Students over $1 trillion in debt, and that's plus interest. Yeah, it's just a usury system. It milks the common people. It gives them hope for a short time, and then pulls the rug out from under their feet. The rug of hope. They just pull it right off under your feet, and you're fucking on your ass. That's what happens every time. That's what's happening to Detroit. But they pay the low wages. So, like, I had to decide, well, I'd rather work for low wages and be fucked and have $5 in my pocket and maybe drive around with no brakes and shit on a 20-year-old car than have to depend on the government for anything. And that's what people have to suck it up and do, basically, unless you want to be compliant with the system. Now, there are some jobs out there. I know people that are getting okay jobs, but man, they're not. A lot of them are government stuff, and really they don't even pay that much anymore, and the benefits are going down. So they make people, and this is Christmas time, so this is the time when usury just flourishes, and it's supposed to be a time when a religious holiday, for the Christians here. But I saw Pat Robertson one time on television when I was laid off during these hard times, and he was talking about how much money these Christians can make off the stock market and how great it was, how great it's going up, and they're just making all kinds of money. I'm thinking that's the reason Christ overturned the tables. The thing is, the usury system shouldn't be even in our nature. It's a Satan's nature to do that. That's why the Jews, the Jews don't charge interest, and neither do the Muslims. They're not supposed to. If you borrow to another Jew, if you're a Jew, you're not supposed to charge interest. Same with the Muslims. They charge interest to the Goans, the Gonans. What do they call us? The Goeds. I don't know what the fuck they call us. The common people, the infidels. We get charged the interest, and it's a usury system. And the Christians, man, they fall for hook, line, and sinker. And Pat Robinson's saying, yeah, we make all kinds of money. I'm thinking, yeah, but look at the depravity that you spread. Because the people go into debt, then they can't afford anything, their credit's ruined, they haven't got a place to live, their just whole life gets ruined because of this. Because nobody can make enough money to ever get out of the system. Once you're in it, it's like a fucking whirlwind. Not many people make the money to get out. And then they're hypnotized by this weapon, this mind control weapon in everybody's living room called television. The television tells them, you got to have this and you got to have that. You got to have a car for $269 a month, and you can zero down. But nobody tells you the insurance is like $300 a month. And you got to have this beer, and you got to have this food, and you got to go to this restaurant, and you got to go to this bar. And if you want to be one of them, you want to be one of the cool people, and it's going to cost you a ton of money, and it's hard to do on $9 an hour. But people don't care. 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 Hey, guy walking his dog. Damn it, man, I'm always late here. Well, that's it. They impose the usury system. That's who they are. One of their things they do. They impose the usury system on the masses, and that just makes the masses poor. I remember once, sometimes I refer back to the Bible. I'm not a hugely religious person, and I don't give a shit about anybody else's soul. But you know something? The Christ did say a few things that was right on the money. And he said, one of the things he said is, there's always going to be poor people. And people think that, because they don't do the right thing and they're evil. No, it's because the fucking evil people are going to hold them down, always. And there's no getting around it. It was then, and it's now. Alright. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Damn it, I'm running late, man. They hate that. Duck out. The ice of a match man. And we're automatic. Automatic, I tell you.